Om Swastiastu. In here, I will explain the material about learning success. This video is to complete my final semester assignment. Before that, I will introduce myself. My name is Gede Yuliaratih. My name 21111711098. My lecturer, Dr. Siluh Nyoman Suryadi, SPD, SAG, MPD. In here, I will explain about the material. The first is definition of learning success, and the second is learning success indicators, and third is factors affecting success in learning, and the fourth is assessment of success in learning, and the last is effort to increase learning motivation. Okay, the first material is definition of learning success. Success is etymologically derived from the word result, which means something that is carried out by effort. Success in the Big Indonesian Dictionary is state or state of success. Learning etymologically is trying to gain intelligence or knowledge. Learning comes from the word teaching, which means instructions given to people so that they are know or obey. From the understanding of success and learning, we can know that learning success is the achievement of a state of the change process, namely a change in behavior as a result of interaction with the environment in meeting the needs of life. The concept of learning, according to UNESCO, requires every education unit to be able to develop the four pillars of education both for now and in the future. Namely, the first is learning to know. In this case, the teacher functions as a facilitator in learning and also plays an active role as a friend in dialogue with students or develop mastery of knowledge. And the second is learning to do. Skills can be used as a support for one life. Even skills are more dominant than the mastery of knowledge in supporting the success of one life. And the third is learning to live together. One of the functions of educational institution is a place to socialize, ordered life, which means to prepare students to be able to live in society. The social situation should be conditioned in the educational environment. The habit of living together, respecting each other, being open, giving and receiving, and needs to be developed. And the fourth is learning to be. Maximum self-development is closely related to talents and interests, physical and psychological development, the child's personal, typology, and environmental conditions. Self-ability that is formed at school to the maximum allows children to develop themselves at a higher level. The second materials is about learning success indicator. Indicators of learning success can be seen from various types of actions or the formation of student behavior. This type of behavior include the first is habits, namely ways of acting that are owned by students and are obtained through learning. And the second is skills, namely actions or behavior that appears as a result of muscular activity and are moved and coordinated by the nervous system. And the third is accumulation of perfections, namely various perfection obtained by students through learning, such as the introduction of symbols, numbers, and understanding. And the fourth is associations and memorization, namely a set of memories about something as a result of strengthening through associations, either intentional of natural associations or artificial associations. And the fifth is understanding and concept, namely the types of learning outcomes obtained through rational learning activities. And the sixth is attitudes, namely an understanding, feelings, and tendencies of students to behave towards something. And the last is value, which is a benchmark to distinguish between good and bad. And moral and religion. Morality is the application of values in relation to the lives of fellow human beings, while religion is the application of transcendental and unseen values. Based on the description above, the indicators of students' learning success can be seen from the ability of students to absorb and teaching materials that have been taught and from the actions or behaviors outlined in the learning objects that have been achieved by students both individually and in groups. So the next materials is about factors affecting success in learning. Learning achievement achieved by students can be influenced by several factors, both internal factors such as student intelligence, motivation, interest, and other as well as external factors such as school environment, family, community, and government. For internal factors are factors that come from within which affect individuals, including biological conditions, emotional conditions, and level of development that are owed. Besides that, they also include the level of intelligence and individual characteristics or personality traits. For internal factors such as general physiological conditions, the conditions of the five senses, intelligence, and talent and motivations. For the external factors are factors that comes from outside the individual. External factors that influence learning achievement, one of which is family factors, especially parents. Attention parents in helping to overcome learning difficulties experienced by children, such, such as environmental factors and instrumental factors. For the next material is success assessment. To measure and evaluate the level of learning success can be done through a learning achievement test. Based on the objects and scope, learning achievement tests can be classified into the following types of assessment. The first is formative test. This assessment is used to measure one or several specific subjects, and the aim is to obtain an overview of students' absorption and the subject. And the second is subsummative test. These tests include a number of current teaching materials that have been taught in a certain time. The aim is to obtain an overview of students' absorption and to increase the level of student achievement. And the last is summative test. This test is used to measure students' absorption of the subject matter that has been taught for one semester, 1 or 2 school years. The aim is to determine the level of student learning success in a certain learning period. The next material is about effort to increase learning motivation. Effort to encourage children learning motivation in learning activities at schools. There are several steps can be taken. The first is giving numbers. Numbers in this case as a symbol of the value of learning activities. Many students are actually to achieve good number or grades. So that what is being proposed is only a test score or a good report card score. Good numbers for students is very strong motivation. What the teacher needs to remember is that the achievement of this number is not a true and meaningful learning result. The hope is that these numbers are related to their affective values, not just cognitive ones. And then is give. Can be a strong motivation where students are interested in a particular field that will be given a prize. Not so if the prize is given for a job that is not interesting according to the reminder. And the third is competition. Competition, whether individual or group, can be a means to increase motivation to learn. Because sometimes, if there is a rival, students will be more enthusiastic in achieving the best result. And then, ego involvement. Raising awareness for students to feel the importance of the text and accept it as a challenge so that working hard is one form of motivation that is quite important. The form of students' hard work can be involved cognitively by looking for ways to increase motivation. And the next is giving repetition. Students will study hard if they know that there will be a test, but do not repeat too often because it will be boring and will become a mere routine. The next is knowing result. Knowing learning outcomes can be used as a motivational tool. By knowing their learning outcomes, students will be encouraged to study harder. Moreover, if the learning outcomes are progressing, students will definitely try to maintain it or even be motivated to be able to improve it. And the next is pricey. If there are students who successfully complete the task well, it is necessary to give pricey. Pricey is a form of positive reinforcement and provides good motivation for students. Giving must also be at the right time, so that is will foster a pleasant atmosphere and enhance learning motivations and at the same time will raise self-esteem. And then punishment. Punishment is a form of negative reinforcement, but if given appropriately and wisely, it can be a motivational tool. Therefore, the teachers must understand the principles of giving the punishment. So, the next is the conclusion. Based on this material, it can be ascertained that the level of student learning success can be seen from the number of students who have scores above the minimum learning standards set by the school. The learning objectives to be achieved can be categorized into three areas, namely the cognitive fields, the affective, and the psychomotor field. These three aspects cannot stand alone, but are an inseparable unit, even forming hierarchical relationship as a goal to be achieved. All three must be seen as a result of student learning at school. Therefore, these three aspects must be seen as student learning outcomes. Well, that's the explanation of the material from me. I'm sorry if there a mistake. Thank you.